Well, hello again, all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you in this new year with another edition of Stout Sunday, first Stout Sunday of 2020. And joining me today, we have Robert the Whisky Scout from Missouri. We have
Kansas,
Ronald Terry.
Kansas.
Kansas.
The beer's from Missouri.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you said that's.
Yeah.
I used to always say, Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, all right. Kansas, from the great state of Kansas. Ronald Terrio. Oh, not rough start to 2020. Okay, Ronald Terrio of Louisiana Beer Reviews and Michael Kormaroff up in New York.
Good morning.
So how y'all doing?
Good morning.
Fine.
Oh, guess what? Today is the 12th day of Christmas, and tonight Christmas ends. And guess what starts tonight on 12th night? Epiphany. Carnival season.
All right.
Which goes until Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras Day. Carnival.
Well, my Christmas tree always stays up till the end of January just because I don't know. I guess I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But I don't put it up till late. So, like mid-December. I didn't this year, so I'm going to enjoy it until the end of January because it takes a while to put out and take down.
I guess I should start putting for green and gold. Okay.
Yeah. We don't do carnival season so much here in Georgia.
Later on,
later
on, if we get a chance, I'll explain why they have 3 colors of Mardi Gras and about the king cake.
All right. I do love me some king cake. I just make sure you don't bite off baby Jesus's head when you're biting into the cake. All right, so we'll start things off with Robert the Whisky Scout. What do you got this morning, Robert?
This morning I got from Four Hands Brewing in St. Louis, Missouri. It's called Absence of Light. It's a peanut butter chocolate milk stout, and it's 7.1% ABV. And this is a 16-ounce, a pint bottle, 1 pint, 6 fluid ounces. So anyway, I poured it, just developed a little quick, real fizzy, carbonated head that dissipated. If you've watched since I poured it, which pretty much it's been up there, it just kind of disappeared. It's not leaving no lacing or anything around the ring.
Yeah.
It is dark though. There is an absence of light. It's black. You cannot see through it.
I've never seen that beer before in my life.
I never.
St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know. It makes me wonder if one of these big, maybe Anheuser-Busch owns it or something.
You
never know these days.
No, you don't. It don't really say. Anyway, but they do have a website.
Okay. All right, we'll come back to you in a second. Let's get through what everybody has real quick. So, Ron, what are you drinking this morning?
I haven't had this in like 7 years, but they bring it back from time to time. It's called Macchiato Espresso Milk Stout, Espresso Dolce Beans, Stout with coffee added. It's from Abita Brewing Company. It's best before May, so it's got a good date on it. They use, when they are aging it, when they're cold aging it, they put Dolce Espresso beans from PJ's Coffee. I don't know if they have a PJ's Coffee in your area, but it's a large coffee in I guess, sandwich place, mostly like breakfast sandwiches and stuff. And this is 6% alcohol. It's 21 IBUs. And I'll read the ingredients real fast. They use pale, caramel, chocolate, and roasted malts. The hops are Willamette. They use milk sugar added and oats. And those coffee beans, and it gets a 90 out of 100 on Beer Advocate, outstanding. It gets a 95 out of 100 on Rapier, a 95 in the style, and gets a 76 on Untapped, which is actually high on Untapped. Untapped, it's a much lower scoring generally. So
okay.
I poured it, and you can see the head is dissipating, but it's thick.
Well, I like that Falstaff glass.
Yeah, it's not the proper glass, really, but it's a cool glass. Somebody gave it to me. Thank you, Sandra. And it's dark brown, but there's some red, like some coffees. And if you like the rich smell of espresso and sugar and milk and oats, well, here's your breakfast.
All right.
I had whiskey.
Jamie says, never bite off baby Jesus's head. Try not to this year,
Yeah.
Jamie.
And
A lot of times the king cakes, they don't even put the baby Jesus inside. They'll just put them off to the side now, because my guess would be there have been a few lawsuits over the years, people choking on the baby Jesus.
A lot of companies don't put the baby inside the cake anymore. They put it on the side for liability reasons. A lot of people think Jesus was born in Palestine, but apparently that's not true, because if you look carefully at the baby, it says China.
Right. Right. That's a good one. All right, so Michael, what are you drinking this morning?
This is from Central Waters Brewing of Amherst, Wisconsin. It's called Satin Solitude, and it's an imperial stout at 7.7 alcohol, 53 IBUs. And Amherst is fairly close to where Tyler Manziel used to live, and he was always talking up how wonderful the brewery was. This is not the first Central Waters beer I've had. I've had several, but when I see it now, I'm willing to pay a little bit more money for it because his recommendation was so good. This is what it looks like in the glass. The head was a little bit higher when it was first poured, but it is hanging around. And it is very dark brown, maybe similar to Jay's because you can see a little bit of red on the edges, but it's very dark.
Nice. Back when Tyler Mansell had his channel, I believe he called it Wisconsin Beer Reviews, and he actually did review that beer. And if I'm not mistaken, he gave it either a 98 or a 99 out of 100. So
right. And Tyler, you need to bring back your channel. I'm serious. I'm starting to get irritated.
He's still got. I talked to he's still got all those videos. All he's got to do is repost them or them off of private.
Right. Starting to get on the nerves. Hey, Central Water, another buyout.
Who owns it now?
I think Anheuser-Busch InBev bought it.
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe
that's why the distribution is improved. Maybe I'll be able to get Central Waters for too long now.
Maybe when Tyler heard about the buyout, he got depressed, and that's why he deleted his channel.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
But I doubt it.
All right. So, guys, really quick, I've got one from Lime Creek Brewing Company out of Peachtree City, Georgia. This is their Blind Wolf Imperial Stout, 8.5% alcohol. IBUs are not listed on the can or the website. I poured with about a 1 finger beige head, which has almost completely dissipated, and I'm smelling a lot of bourbon on the nose. A lot of bourbon.
I had Canadian whiskey for breakfast, but bourbon sounds good too.
It smells really good, but honestly, just from the aroma, it smells like it smells higher than 8.5, but it smells good. It just, if you don't like bourbon, this aroma might offend you. All right. So let's go back around now and get into the taste and see how these stouts hold up in the new year. So Robert, we'll start off with you.
Chocolate on the nose, straight up chocolate. There's maybe a little, I do get a little of the peanut butter, and it's not from there. I get more chocolate actually than I do peanut butter in the nose on it. Then of course you get the dark malts, the roasted dark malts. But it's mainly just like a very rich chocolate. That's pretty much it on the nose. It's pretty simple, straightforward.
Is it expensive?
I don't know what I paid for that. I think I paid I don't know what you call bomber or whatever. It's a little bigger bottle. I think I paid like $7.99 for it, maybe.
Okay.
Nope, too expensive.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not bad for a big old bottle like that.
Well, you do get a little of the bitterness. You're getting some of the hops coming back. Still heavy on the chocolate. There is a lot of chocolate there. Chocolate seems to come through more than the peanut butter. The peanut butter's there too. I mean, but don't think of a Reese's peanut butter cup with this one. It's not. It don't go like that. It's chocolate. It's peanut butter. There's a little of the lactose there. You can get a little bit of that almost slick feeling that it part of the process. This is just really a 2-3 note beer. This is stout's not giving you. I don't get any of the coffee. I get bitterness, but it doesn't come across as coffee bitterness. It just comes across as hops bitterness, just a little bit. That's it. This is pretty straightforward.
So it's not super complex.
Nope, not super complex at all, but it's not bad either. This is not there's no weird wonky notes. It's pretty much straightforward what it says to me.
Okay. Hey, yeah. Simple is sometimes better. Don't always have to have these super complex beers. Craig is watching. He says, "Hey guys, I'm watching on the big TV in the living room as I do some sewing." Okay. He's drinking a Guinness draft. Nothing special, but still tasty. Yeah, it's a classic.
What is he drinking?
A Guinness draft.
Oh.
And then we've got Johnny Tactical in the chat. Says he's got some 6-point master blends in the fridge. 13% barrel aged. I'm sure Michael can appreciate that. None of us can get that other than Michael. So,
like I told you, now it's available in all 18 states that 6 Point distributes.
Which is
master blends are?
It's not Kansas or Georgia though.
Right. Okay.
Ron, can you get it in 6 Point?
Can I get what?
6 Point.
Why do you think I was going like this?
Okay, so you can't either, because even though it's not listed in Arkansas, they can get it in Little Rock through some sub distributor or something. They have some special deal in Little Rock. Both Shane and Jesse and Jeremy have gotten it.
I only get to hear about it.
Okay, because they've picked up several of them in Little Rock, and it's not on their list. It's not one of their 18 states, and they've gotten some. Now, I'm sure they're not, bringing it in by truck or anything. There must be some separate deal.
Some kind of black market.
There you go.
I mean, it's not illicit beer. It's just not supposed to be distributed in states they don't sell to. But I guess if you bring it in, there's not, you're not committing a crime.
Well, actually, you are if you're selling it.
Well, so maybe it's a crime that's overlooked, and they don't want, and nobody.
There's a lot of hot shit. They call it hot shotting, and a lot of hot shotting is going on.
But now that they're in this conglomerate, this artisanal ventures, there's a lot more money behind them. You're going to see them expanding their states. So maybe your states will be next.
More than likely.
Hopefully. Until then, we'll just have to live vicariously through you as you enjoy those
the other
wonderful beers.
Wherever he is, he got the 13% stout there, so it's getting around, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funky was the one who told me now that was one of the beers they're distributing. I got it in a limited release last year when it first came out, and ours was 13.8, so they cut off 0.8 in the newer one that they distributed, and the 13.8 one was a little bit alcohol-y. Maybe they toned it down a little. I haven't tried the new one yet, so I don't know. But I'll buy some though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Sounds like everything they have. Well, Johnny Tactical's in South Florida. There you go. So
Florida's been one of the states they've been distributing. So he
got the Masters Blend 13% barrel aged in South Florida. So there's hope. We'll see.
Border state, John. That's Florida state, right below.
Right. So Florida's one of those states that, they distribute. I've seen or I've heard of people getting the resin and some of their basic offerings, but the master blend stuff, that's exciting that they're getting that down there now.
And it's still, as far as I know, being brewed in Memphis. So until they change to one of the other places they're affiliated with, either Victory or Southern Tier, which are the other two, they might be brewing some of their stuff at those places as well.
Underground Mountain
Brown.
Right. It's a good one.
Ooh, that Underground Mountain Brown is delicious, dear guy. And Keep Sipping's always busy. One of these days she'll join us.
That's the that's the old Schlitz brewery, and I can see why they do a lot of contract brewing there, because when they built it, it was one of the biggest breweries in the world, and I assume it's still huge.
So Ronald Sutton is hunting.
Yeah.
He's always Now, do you have a 30-pack of the Bush, or are you drinking the Budweiser aluminum cans or aluminum bottles today?
Aluminum
What you
bottle,
got?
yeah, I remember that the other day.
Anyway, let's get to Ron here. I know he's just dying to get into that Abita Stout over there. So go ahead, Ron.
I can't find any proof that Central Waters was bought out, but I swear I remember hearing that, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I remember back in 1996.
It was that one time, right? Yeah, right after you were born for that brief moment.
No, I mean, I just at least once a decade, anybody can be wrong. All right, now, you know, John and Neely, you're in Georgia, and with all the Georgia beers you're doing and all the contacts you're making, Georgia is the Empire State of the South. Pretty soon, you're going to have to call your channel Georgia Empire Reviews.
Empire State.
Beer Review Empire, huh? Beer Review Empire. Well, anyway, cheers to your Imperial Realm. This beer smells not too aromatic. What I mean by that is it's just not a whole lot of aroma. But there is a little oats and a little dark roasted malt. The flavor, coffee, cold brew coffee, dark malt, sweetness. Well, it's kind of like if you drank espresso. There's a little cream, medium body, medium dry finish, easy going. It's not too expensive. I think the 6-pack is $12.99. Could be cheaper though, but I think $12.99. But I got this single for like $1.69. It's pretty nice. Now,
It's a good deal. That's a really good deal.
It's one of those craft beers for the masses, right? That's where Abita really focuses their efforts on making craft beers that most everybody's going to like. Do they make some really expensive beers? Oh, yes. You could pay $15, $20, $30 a bottle for some of their super deluxe. But those are small batches. They know most people aren't going to buy those things, but they exist. Just based on what you feel like spending, you know. But for a mass appeal product,
seems like it's going down pretty smooth there too.
Oh man, is it? And it's hard to believe it's been 7 years since I had it. It seemed like I've had it more recently, but I bet you, time flies when you're drinking fun. And I think
Right.
what's happened out, things get confused a little bit on time frame, you know? Like
Yep.
you'll think, I just had that. And then you realize, oh, it was 2012. But anyway.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about having a channel. I can keep up. It's like Michael's got his log with all these examinations and the reviews and stuff. I could always look back and see when I had something and use it as a reference. So.
Right.
Yep.
So Sut he responded. He said he's got a 30-pack of hams for later. That's a good one.
Hope it's later, like over a 2-week period.
Just for the team, then maybe he's with his son again, and they're trying to get that trophy deer, and they'll 15 each, and they'll call it a night.
Oh man, I couldn't handle that. But I'm such a lightweight.
So Drunken One says, "Good morning, gents," and then look who's here. We got Drewski Brewski. Cheers, beer nerds. I know I'm one too. All right.
And always in control of the situation.
All right, so let's go to Michael Kormarov.
Okay, so this is what it's the head is really holding up well, which I'm impressed with. Beige head, and the lacing is really nice, and if you swish the glass, you get really good head retention. The beer, it comes back really nice. Let me give it a sniff. You get really heavy roasted malt. So, you know, a lot of these beers, you do get that. And that's really the only definitive smell I'm getting on the nose. Let me give it a taste. First thing I'm getting is coffee. There's a little bit of kind of dark chocolate in the background as well. Very nice, very easy drinking. The alcohol is well masked. It seems it's a 7.7, and it seems like it's, you know, like a session kind of stout more than, so they are covering the alcohol well, which is a positive thing in this case. The different flavors are really well balanced too. I mean, they did a really nice job. I really like it. I guess the combination, the way they put this beer together, is the biggest positive that I can say, and I would definitely recommend any type stout drinker, you know, trying this. There's some bitterness, but it's not pronounced, and it's 53 IBUs, which is somewhere in the middle. But you can taste the bitterness, but it's not. It's a positive thing. It goes well, and there's some complexity in this beer as well. I'll come back and give you a score when we come around again.
All right. Yeah, sounds really good. Satin Solitude, the name makes me think like a really creamy, smooth mouthfeel. Would you say that it has almost a creamy mouthfeel, or just?
It has a creamy mouthfeel, but it's funny. It doesn't seem like that's the featured item. It's there too, I guess.
And it doesn't say anything on the label about adding, like, it's not a lactose beer, right? They don't add lactose.
Let me see what I'll tell you what they say here. Let's see. I have my glasses on. I should be able to read it. I'm gonna put on briefly, and if it gets, I'll turn it back off. I get a little more well lit here. It's gonna look a little weird, but I'll turn it on. An unpluckingly creamy stout, prized for its drinkability. Satin Solitude is crafted with a mix of specialty malts, from caramel and chocolate to roasted barley, to achieve its deep dark appearance and satin smooth finish. Best enjoyed by a crackling fire on a long winter's night. So that's
okay. So it doesn't sound like they had lactose. They had lactose in it, but
it doesn't say they do, but it's certainly possible they do. And it is, now that you mention it, it is creamy.
Excuse me, I'm on the phone with my daughter. I'll be right back there. I'm not bugging out. I'm just
okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Ron's got his priorities all mixed up here on this Sunday morning. All right, so I guess that leaves me. So let's see. The Blind Wolf Imperial Stout, Line Creek Brewing, Peachtree City, Georgia. Like I said when I first poured it, boozy, boozy, boozy. This is, to be only 8.5%, there's a lot more bourbon on the nose. If you blindfolded me, I would tell you that this smells like a 12%er. It just has that much barrel presence on the nose. I'm getting some dark chocolate, a little bit of caramel as well. And then just the roast from the roasted barley malt, just some nice toasty bread notes on the aroma. It smells really good, but if you do not like whiskey, the aroma is really going to throw you off. All right, so cheers, guys. And as you see, the head has pretty much died down, and it's very black appearance.
Cheers, John.
Cheers.
Okay, the bourbon presence is the first thing I'm getting. Nice boozy initial taste, which leads into some dark chocolate and caramel notes. The middle is really roasty, toasty, bready. So it kind of, once you get past that initial like boozy burst, you get the nice notes that you expect from a good stout in the middle with the bready and the roast. And then on the finish, there's a pretty nice little bitterness to this. I wish I knew what the IBUs are, but they're not listed on the can or the website. Malty, boozy, bready, and then that bitterness on the finish to balance it out nicely. it's kind of got, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it does actually have alcohol legs, which is surprising for just an 8.5, but they're there. There's no lacing. It's just alcohol legs going down the glass. This is strange. It almost makes me think that they put the wrong label on it. Like I swear it tastes like a 12 or 13% alcohol beer. I mean, not in a bad way, but if you're not into the stronger stuff and you're not into spirits, if you don't like whiskey, particularly bourbon, and you're not going to like this, but I do, and I love this beer. Not the best balance between the bourbon and then the beer notes, but it does have some nice breadiness, and like I said, that bitterness kind of finishes it off nicely, and it's not really lingering. The bitterness kind of drops it off nicely at the end. This is a winner. I like it. It's one of the limited release beers from Line Creek, so it's only around, I think they said December through February on the website, but I would definitely recommend it for anybody that likes bourbon barrel-aged stouts. This one is definitely very boozy in a pleasant way. So I'll give my rating here in a little bit. We will go back to the comments really quick. Looks like we got a couple. Sut says he usually has 12 to 15 a night, keeps them regular. All right, Sut. And then Drewski says, love y'all. Have a great day. We love you too, Drewski. Have a good day and happy 2020 to you. All right, so Robert with his peanut butter chocolate.
It doesn't change even as I go through my second pour on it. There's no change in it. It's just a milk stout with such a heavy chocolate presence in this. If you like chocolate with a little beer and a little beer side notes and the hop side notes with some peanut butter dragging around in it, you're going to really like this one. I mean, this one's you're not going to get nothing extra. It's a milk stout, and when you lick your lips, when you're kind of done with, you do get a little bit of that lactose, that little bit of whatever it is milk leaves on your lips when you're drinking out of a jug. It's kind of that sort of
residue.
Yeah, that residue. There you go. And so it's there. I could give it a 90. I'm not going to say it's world class, but this is definitely for 7.1% stout. 1 in the morning, and if you don't mind looking at something that looks like a turd in a spoon,
I feel like a big monster reptile.
It looks more like a turd with face and arms to me. Whatever.
Brilliant idea.
I see, you see. Very, what's the word? Subjective.
Yeah.
But yeah, 90 out of 100. I think it's a good drinkable stout. Nothing unappealing. Just if you like chocolate, this is bringing it.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. And I do love chocolate. I love peanut butter as well. It sounds like maybe the peanut butter could have been amped up a little bit more in that one.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ron, what about you? What are you thinking for the Abita Macchiato Espresso?
Oh, sorry, I had to jump off for a little bit while my daughter was calling me. But
oh, that's all right.
Yep.
It's hard to say. I think it's good, and I like it, and I would recommend it, and I think people should buy it and try it, and they're probably going to like it. My daughter said, "Well, that sounds good." I was telling her about it. I guess 89. I think if I drink more of them, I'd give her a higher score, but I'm going to say 89 B+.
Okay.
But I like it. Of course, if I didn't like it, it wouldn't be a B+.
Would you say that it has mass appeal? Like pretty much, anybody that's really into a coffee stout would like that?
Yeah, unless you're like really finicky and just because I know some people that like hate everything, And so if you're kind of easygoing with your taste and your aromas and what you can drink, you probably like it. If you're real finicky about stuff, I don't know, you might find all kind of faults with it. But I mean, that's just how some people are. So,
right.
but then that would be the niche group, right? And so in a general sense, people are gonna probably like it.
Okay.
I think it sells like crazy. You know, when Abita comes out with these specialty ales, seem like people buy them just left and right.
I'd like to try that. I get a pretty good selection of Abita here, but some of their specialty stuff, it seems like it's just more in Louisiana. Like they don't really branch out too much with some of the specialty items. But we do get everything in their basic lineup for sure.
They just coming out with specialties one after the other. I mean, as soon as this was only on the shelf for 2 weeks, and boom, here comes Mardi Gras Bach. And as soon as Mardi Gras Bach, and I bet you in another 3 or 4 weeks, they're going to be coming out with probably, I don't know, like a springtime strawberry shortcake type thing or whatever they do.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It's just.
Okay. Well, Michael, what are you thinking about the Central Water Satin Solitude over there?
I think this could definitely be a beer that either a novice drinker would like, as well, as long as they can handle a stout. I mean, it's definitely a stout if you're a macro drinker who just drinks, you know, light type beers, lighter color type beers, you might not like this. But if you're somebody who's at least tried Guinness or some of the other stouts, I think you'd like this. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is their flagship. It's their, you know, their main beer.
Whoa.
What happened?
It looked like we just switched places. John, did you do a little quickie maneuver?
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I have no idea.
I got a brief circle of death, and then
Everybody turned to a circle for. So it wasn't just me. I thought maybe my internet was crapping out. But
switched positions because now I'm above you. Before I was.
who cares?
Okay, I'm going to give.
Probably Iran doing it. What now?
I'm giving this a bordering world-class rating of 96. So I don't think it's as good as Tyler does, but I'm
wow, that's still
on the border.
That's still pretty good. 96,
and I highly recommend it to anybody if you can get Central Water.
Right. Yeah, they have. Can you get? Have you seen some of their other beers around, Michael, or is that the only one?
I also bought. I have some of their regular. They have another Imperial Stout. I have a couple of bottles of that also. It was like twice as expensive as this one though, and it's about another. This is 7.7. I think the other one is like almost 10. I got a couple of those, but it's not like the Co-op gets a lot of Central Waters. They get a few here and there, and these are the two they've had in the last month. Maybe they'll start getting more. I'm hopeful.
Okay.
I think Eric, John, before you start, I think Eric mentioned on one of our beer sites that he's starting to see it in Massachusetts, and he's never bought it. But now that I put it on Beer Hall, which is one of my sites that I'm on, and he looked at it and he says he'd like to try it too. So maybe he'll be buying some and doing his own reviews.
Okay. So let's see. I'll just show the appropriate comments here. Jamie says, Drewski is such an angel in the morning.
He's like a morning angel.
All right. So the Blind Wolf Imperial Stout here. I really like it. But like I said, if you're not into barrel aged stuff, if you don't like bourbon, you're not going to like this. I wish it had a little bit more balance from because it is very boozy. The bourbon's really coming through. I wish there was a little bit of a head that stuck around. But nonetheless, I think this is an excellent beer. You're getting some nice chocolate, some bready notes, and a little caramel sweetness in there as well. So it's not one-dimensional, but it's not the most balanced beer either. So I'm going to go with just a 93 out of 100, just a solid A on the low end. It is excellent, and I would definitely recommend it to people like Robert and Michael and everybody on the panel here because we all like our bourbon. But it could kind of throw you for a loop if you're not used to that kind of thing because it is very, very strong on the barrel notes, on the barrel presence. All right. So let's see. We've got Eclipse Brewing in the chat. Says, good morning, panel. Good morning to you, Eclipse. Thanks for stopping by. He's out there in the Seattle area, I believe. He's the home brewer. Makes some pretty good beers. All right. So, Ron, you were going to tell us a little bit about the colors, the festival and Mardi Gras and all of that. And if anybody else has anything else they want to add before we wrap this up.
Yes. So today is the 12th night. Well, tonight is 12th night. So 12th day of Christmas. And then Carnival starts tonight. Carnival, carne, meat, ball, interval, meat, interval, time of meat. Okay. So that goes until Mardi Gras Day, Fat Tuesday. Now, Epiphany is the revealing. That's when the baby Jesus was visited by these three men, mysterious men of the East. We don't know who they are. Astrologers, kings, we don't know. Their legendary names are Balthazar, Caspiar, and Melchior. Whether that's their real names or not, I couldn't tell you. But the king cake is made in honor of that. So the king cake has the three colors of Carnival. Gold, that's the gold they gave as a gift. Frankincense, the green from the fir tree, and myrrh, the crumbly crystal, purplish crystal. So purple, green, and gold is the three gifts that the wise men, the Magi, gave to the baby Jesus. That's why the baby's in the king cake. The king cake is for, of course, Jesus Christ, King of the universe. All right, so that was a festival that was celebrated in Europe starting in the Middle Ages, or maybe even before the Middle Ages, and they make those cakes. If you go to Spain, they have king cakes. A lot of those are filled with all kind of fruit, chopped up fruit and everything. Very fancy, very fancy. In Louisiana, they have that three colors always. And so that's the reason for the king cake.
Okay.
All right.
The three kings, they brought Jesus. The three kings. So a lot of people don't know the background of it.
It doesn't myrrh.
Right.
Isn't myrrh a sap from a tree too?
Myrrh.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of crystallized.
I thought
Maybe it's a resin that's crystallized.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it came from a tree too. It was just as rare as frankincense.
Yeah, it's like a burial ointment.
Yeah.
So
Jamie says, wow, I did know that.
see, Jamie knew that.
Good. I did it.
If Drewski Brewski got together with her and they were doing something worthwhile, learn about king cakes.
John,
Instead of singing things that insult people. All right.
Brewski's beer. Crazy Bruce.
Oh, nice. Okay, the crazy.
Robert, if you ever see these Lithuanian beers, Robert, you have to get it.
Okay.
Crazy lobster, huh? Or whatever that's.
The label looks
Lobster
like
beer, yeah. The lobster.
I'll remember that label. I'm not going to forget that label.
Yeah, believe it or not, I just noticed this. It's bottle conditioned. I mean, I didn't realize that. And they're calling it an imperial pill. They're calling it an imperial pills, but it's really not an imperial pills. It's really just some kind of heavy barley wine to get you crazily drunk. 15%.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be interested. Man, you'll have to bring that to like a wild card Wednesday or something so I can see your reaction to it.
It's heavy duty. Now, the other thing I wanted to show, have you guys gotten this in your markets yet? This is from Sierra Nevada.
No.
Anniversary Ale.
I didn't notice it the other day.
How about
I have never.
you get
No.
Sierra Nevada, Jay, don't you?
I wish it would show up. It hasn't shown up yet.
Okay, it may be just something that just got introduced. It's supposedly a limited release. It's 6% and 65 IBUs, so it's a little bit lower than both the anniversary beer, which was just what's it called? the regular beer they come out with, the regular winter seasonal beer. And so it's a little bit lower in IBUs than that, and a little bit lower in alcohol as well. And it's the 40th year, they're claiming, 40th anniversary of Sierra Nevada.
Okay.
Okay.
Is interesting.
One of the big three.
I may not be available on Wednesday this week because Giant Space Monkey and I are doing an individual one, and generally speaking, I'm not recovered by the evening. I'm usually pretty out of it for the whole day. But we usually have 8 high alcohol beers between the two of us, so it can get pretty,
That sounds like a good time.
My wife has said I'm worthless. Why do I get so bent out of shape? I haven't gotten sick, so that's a good thing.
Well, that sounds like fun. But tell Giant Space Monkey I said hello.
I will do that. He's doing well. Everything is going well.
Good. Sorry you're not going to be there for Wildcard Wednesday, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
But as long as you know I'm there in spirit, that's all that counts.
I would like to see you show up post tasting though. Could be.
Come on just to wave at everybody if there's an open spot. But I know
Sure, there you go.
spots are usually pretty, coveted.
He can wave and pass out.
It's like those people, those YouTubers, they drink a bunch of alcohol and then they do what they call like an aftermath video where they just sit there and let everybody watch them as they continue to get more inebriated. Anyway, we've got
can't wait to watch something like that.
Sometimes
some people, that's all they love watching that stuff. I mean, whatever.
Sometimes does his group ones. There are sometimes crack people there who really seem like they're out of it. They don't have to go out. Pretty loaded sometimes.
Hey, really, Georgia Empire beer reviews.
Yes, sir.
You want to see what whiskeys are coming up? Now, Whisky Scout's going to ridicule me, but it is what it is. All right.
I don't think.
Robert knows.
I do want to see while you're getting whatever what you got to show.
I don't have to. It's right here.
Okay, yeah, go grab them. We got Camo Legend or Ligan joining for the first time. He says he's new here. He's going to be having an Oscar Blues 1050 for the first time. That's a good one.
Baby.
Enjoy that.
Yep. I've had that.
And I may have already shown this one. Sut says he had an epiphany. Drink more hams.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, go ahead, Ron. What do you got?
Okay. Whisky Scout's not too thrilled with Canadian whiskey, but to each his own. You know how that goes. This is my challenge. See, he's laughing already. Here's their Northern Lights, and see the leaf makes the Northern Lights when you swish it. Ooh, the Northern Lights. So, man, that's abusive. So anyway, as I'm being bullied on the internet, this is the challenger, and here are the people that's going to challenge it in the next 3 videos. I'm just trying to plug my channel, you understand? Lord Calvert, which Johnny Neely and I did a video of, and we liked, even though we obviously don't know what we're doing. Now, Lord Calvert from the dark corners of Baltimore, Maryland, where it originated. Now it's from the underside of Canada. Then we have from our friends at Beam Suntory, Windsor, Canadian. They're so proud of this whiskey, they don't even list it on their website. And
one more? Wow.
I got way more than this. And then, in case you've wondered what are some of the better private label store brands, we've got Albertsons Canadian Whiskey, a blend from our friends at Albertsons grocery chain. I don't think this is produced anymore. This bottle cost me a whole $4.99.
And it'll be competitive, I guarantee.
Yeah, like it smells like Crown Royal, but Crown Royal is like 23. A lot of people tell me Crown Royal ain't worth it. It's just you're buying a name. But I don't know that because I haven't had.
Well, Robert doesn't like Crown Royal. If I remember correctly, he had a very bad experience with it when he was a wee little lad.
So you think this thing could actually compete with Crown Royal? I'd have to do the
No. With the other 4 you listed, I haven't had Crown Royal since 1986. So you take that for what it is. I couldn't tell you what it tasted like. I had some Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye about 3 years ago, thinking that would cover up enough. No, it didn't. I didn't like it.
Well, I'm just doing a Canadian whiskey challenge right now, and then once this series is over in February, I plan to start with more Scotch.
Okay.
And I'll pivot back.
I will say that I think Crown Royal is a pretty good Canadian whiskey. And if you want a really good Crown, now Robert, you would like this expression, the bourbon mash that hopefully pretty soon this guy down here is going to do a review of, because I'm dying to know what he thinks of it. I loved it. I mean, it's like it tasted like a good bourbon, and it's not. It's bourbon mash Canadian whiskey, which is crazy. It doesn't sound right, but it was delicious.
Well, thanks for letting me know. I'll rely on your review.
But yeah, you just have to take my word for it. I guess.
Hey, John and we're talking about you this morning. I was referencing you because you know who the challenger was with the Northern Lights this morning? Canadian Club 12 year.
Oh, I got that.
Oh,
Well, the Canadian Club killed it, of course, but
I was gonna say I would hope so, because it's a lot higher priced and 12-year age, so you would think.
Leader of Canadian Club 6 years, still age stated.
That's a good one too. You know, Canadian Club is probably, you know what? There is no probably about it. Canadian Club is my favorite. Well, the 12 year, the 12-year Smallback is my favorite Canadian whiskey. I don't think I've had that one, Robert.
No, because it's only the 9 and the 12. I picked that up, and they still got one left in a little store in Western Kansas, and I don't know how long it's sat on the shelf.
dang.
The original bottle that the Canadian Club Sherry cask came in.
Wow. This man is so fancy. I feel so liquid.
That's a cool bottle. I like that bottle.
And that's my Canadian. No, I got some others. That's the majority of my Canadian.
Have you had the Canadian Club Green Label, the rye?
No, not had that one.
That was good too. Every Canadian Club expression I've had has been in the A range, all excellent, and for the price, you can't beat it.
I'm a big fan, and that's the way I feel about it.
How does the Seagram's compare with the Canadian Club?
Canadian Club's better.
And Seagram's VO, is that better than the regular Seagram's?
Well, there is no regular Seagram's.
So there's not a
Seagram. You're talking about the Seagram 7, which is an American.
That's American blended.
The VO is their Canadian, but I like the Seagram 7 better than the VO personally, but I think it has more flavor.
I think we all did pretty much on that panel except Ron.
We did, yeah. We examined that. Anybody out there in YouTube land that wants to know what we thought, go to Mr. Louisiana Beer Reviews. Robert, myself, and of course Ronald. We all examined it on his channel, and well, we did both of them. We did the Seagram 7 and we did the VO, and we all agreed that the Seagram 7 was better. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
it just had more flavor. I mean, it just had. Yeah. Just wasn't so blah.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Now the VO Gold, that's different. So, but that's 8-year age, and it's
VO Gold's good. Yeah, it's funny for a product that's no longer being produced. It's still everywhere on the shelves around here.
Because it got so much backstock. But now Sazerac owns it, so they might bring it back. You see, so
I don't know.
Right.
It's still everywhere here. There ain't no place.
I've never had this, Ron. You probably know about this. The Weiser's Deluxe.
Yeah, I've
heard about it.
Robert, of course.
I've heard about it.
The Weiser's Deluxe. I have had the Deluxe before. The only Weiser's I got left is the triple barrel rye.
Well, that one's probably better than that.
John, before you shut this off, you want to see some stouts that got sent to me?
Yes, I do. I mean, of course. What kind of question is that?
Well, just asking. Hold on.
Brandon's in the chat, says, cheers, folks. Thanks for stopping by, Brandon. Happy Stout Sunday.
How come it didn't?
I was at a local brewery earlier this week called Five Boroughs. Robert just left by accident.
I don't think he meant to. I have a feeling he'll be that. Here he is.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, internet's fouling up.
Now we're in different places. I'm on the top.
Yeah,
We're playing, yeah. He's a beautiful.
Like, what the hell?
Well, I tried to get on a website this morning. It wouldn't come up, so there's problems. Thanks, Tehran. Hey, I was doing. There's a guy on Alcohol Eggs named Lawrence Hartnett. Lawrence Hartnett is a viewer, and he sent me these. I said, don't send stuff. Oh, I want to send it. So he sent. This is called Hailstorm Lumberjack Breakfast Maple and Coffee Imperial Milk Stout, 13% alcohol.
Ooh, okay.
Looks
Where's
interesting.
that, Adam? Where's that made? Right.
It's
A nice.
Henley Park, Illinois.
Never heard of it.
Secondly, Southern Grist Bruins Money Moves.
Wow, these are
Oh,
strange.
wow, I love the label with that. That is cool.
Yeah.
This is 6.5% alcohol. It's Imperial Milk Stout loaded with enough peanut butter and real Vermont maple syrup to make your taste buds dance.
That sounds good.
Nashville, Tennessee. And then here's Modern Times Nitro with coffee, coconut, and cocoa from San Diego. This is 7.5. Oh, never mind. It's a 30 IBUs. The alcohol by volume is 5.8. That's not too high. Then the fourth one is called Peanut Butter Chocolate. Oh, what the heck? Robert, get ready.
Oh, wow.
Wow, it's from your. That's the one Robert had.
Absence of life.
That's now the label. Well,
He's
Robert
got
had the
the
bar.
can.
He had the can. Okay.
Yeah, he's got the can.
Oh, man.
That is cool.
Now, Jay, you get to taste the same one now. That's good.
Yeah.
Jay's got a better palate than me on beers. He might find more there than I do.
As soon as I looked at the label, I was like, ooh. Then it looks like a giant chocolate monster. Well,
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
those are some exciting ones coming up. Of course, I have the Bourbon County. I have some CBS, KBS. Woo, baby.
You have your big game today. The Vikings invade the Superdome.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to watch. I watched the games yet. The games yesterday, best wild card Saturday. I remember. I mean, both games came down to the wire. Even though the Patriots lost, they still could have won that game at the very end. But the Texans game was incredible.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Getting hit by getting pancaked by two defenders like that, and staying upright. And I mean, unbelievable game.
Craziness. Crazy.
JJ Watt coming back in that game did turn out.
JJ Watt coming back.
Did turn out to be important. You didn't know how many snaps he was going to get. He played most of the game.
He had to. Yeah, they went into overtime, so he played. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah, and those Houston fans were all excited. I was watching, and they're all like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Ronald
I
Sutton.
was very excited. I was pulling for Houston. I don't pull for teams in the AFC. I mean, they're in the Dolphins division. I was not pulling for Buffalo. Plus, I really like JJ Watt. He's just a stand-up guy on and off the field. And he's never won. They always get knocked out in the first round. So I was really pulling for the Texans, and I'm glad they won.
I have a problem in the second game or the first game, whichever one's first, because the Eagles are in my division. So I hate them, but I hate Pete Carroll, the coach of Seattle, too. So I don't want either one to win, but somebody's got to win.
All the same.
Because of Russell, I like Russell Wilson. I think it's pretty interesting that beast mode that Marshawn Lynch came out of retirement when all their running backs got injured, and he scored a touchdown last week.
Oh.
So it'll be interesting to see what he can do in the playoffs after being out for a year.
Eagles are home.
Ronald Sutton said,
a lot of injuries.
Ronald Sutton says Seagram's developed Crown Royal. Yes, actually, if you look at old Crown Royal bottles before the year 2000, they say Seagram's Crown Royal, but that company went out of business.
So, Robert, your first experience with Crown Royal was so bad that you swore off it for life?
No, it wasn't my first experience, but there was a last experience.
It was his worst experience. Hey, but wait, hold on a second. Is that the company's fault that you got to?
I don't care whose fault it was. I ain't drinking. You don't understand. You can crack a bottle of Crown Royal upwind from me, and I can tell you what you just opened. I have that to this day, and that's been 33 years. And to this day, Jay,
if it has that kind of effect, he shouldn't drink it.
I mean, no, hey, everybody to their own. Hey, I've said it before. Millions of people love Crown Royal. The problem is not the product. The problem is me, and I accept that, and I'm good with that.
It sounds, Robert, it sounds like you're that's like what my last girlfriend said when she broke up with me. She said, "It's not you, it's me," but it still left a
Right. Which translated, if you take female talking translated to English, that means I found somebody I like better.
Oh my God.
That's an interesting way to tie those.
I like to translate women's speech.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just having fun. So we've been going almost an hour now. Any final comments? We'll go ahead and wrap this thing up here.
No.
I will post. I'll post this on one more comment for any late joiners to look at our ratings. Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
See y'all at Wildcard Wednesday.
If I'm not
Wednesday, and Fandango Friday as well. Are you doing Fandango Friday this week?
I'm planning on doing Fandango Friday at 7 Eastern.
Okay.
And, I'll do either a whiskey or rum taste challenge, and everybody else can do what they want. If Michael wants to join Fandango as a replacement for Wednesday,
don't join on Wednesday, I'll join on Friday.
Hang around though. After John killed it for a minute, Ron, I want to get your opinion.
All right, I'm going to put these cans back up. I'll be right back.
All right. So we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Go ahead, Michael. You had something you want to say first?
Ron definitely noticed this. It was on. I put it on the beer chat. I was at this bar called Five Boroughs, which is a local place a couple of miles from my house, and it had this really good imperial stout that was 13% with cocoa, cacao, and vanilla, and it was really good. I think I sent you a picture on the text picture. You could take a look in your text, but it was really.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it was interesting because I had a choice. They had two imperial stouts. They had a straight one, which was straight, bitter, higher IBUs. And this one, the guy didn't know the IBUs, but he said the regular imperial is definitely more bitter. And I got a 9-ounce pour for $9, which is a little bit pricey, but not off the wall. It is 13%. So I decided on the one that was more complex with more things in it, figuring it would tone the beer down. And you can taste the alcohol in it, but it wasn't in your face. And it was very good. It was, top world class, very good. But actually what I should have done, I didn't think of it at the time, I usually never do. I should have gotten, it was $1 an ounce for the two things. It didn't get cheaper by buying more. So I should have bought a 5-ounce pour of both of them. And then I could have compared them, and that would have been a smarter idea. But this way, I sat with this 9-ounce one and mulled over it for a long time. And it was interesting because it was it was a Friday in the afternoon, and there were when I got there, there were like 4 people and me. And then those people left. Some people came and bought cans while I was there. By the time I was getting ready to leave, I was the only person there. There were other people in the place, but they were the workers, going in and out of the brewery section,
right?
The brewing equipment, but it's a very nice setup, and I enjoy.
Is this one of the breweries that you can walk to from where you live, or is
if you're willing to walk a couple of miles? But it's not. It's funny. I did walk there for exercise, and I took a bus back from there. But that's another good thing. I'm only half a mile from other half, which is the other one. Remember that you've seen some of the other half stuff. So I'm close to a couple of places that are within what you would call walking distance. And certainly there's public transportation here if you want to take a subway or a bus. But I had a good time. And it's funny, you become, when you're there, you want to send it on your phone and let people know what you're doing. So I was sending it out on the internet to different people, letting them know what was going on, which was kind of fun.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and end the live portion of this examination. Thanks to everybody in the chat for joining and commenting. We had another great day of comments. Thanks to Michael Kormaroff, Robert the Whisky Scout from Kansas, and Ronald Terrio from Louisiana for joining. Appreciate it as always, guys. Always a good time hanging out with you. To everybody watching, hope everybody has a great start to the new year. Happy 2020, and we'll see you all.
Enjoy your football Sunday.
Absolutely. Enjoy playoff football, and we'll see you on the next one. So cheers, everybody.
Take
and
care,
have a great
everybody.
rest of